Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Baruch atah.
It's up to 6 actors to use this condensed play to tell, you know, a big epic story.
The fantastic things about the pockets, it's an hour and we just continually explore and we're never resting.
It's great because we all bring our different skills, either musically or physically.
And we continually talk about scenes, we change things because we say something perhaps we had in rehearsal. And then suddenly something will happen in a performance, you go, oh my God, when you did that and that did that. And that'll come from a very organic place.
They're playing different characters, they're running back and forth.
Through as many characters as possible, and it's great, yeah.
So when you get into the running of the show, you're still exploring.
It's a challenge for an actor, but it's something that we definitely try and embrace.
6 people, 1 hour, a square and a theatre, and anything can happen.
The set is very minimal. It's one cage, which is a very scaled-down version of the original prison set of the bigger production, and is used throughout the play in quite a flexible way. It's a kind of lens to view the play through. It's to do with how characters are trapped in some way, trapped within their own beliefs, within their own religion.
A bit more kind of urban and edgier and rawer, the prison of the world and also the prison of the mind.
So I think for us, the prison works very well as a metaphor, as a symbol, and also as a literal visual representation.
Which is the Christian? And which the Jew?
It's a literal prison in terms of it emphasises aspects of tribalism in the play. It emphasises violence being kind of penned in a kind of pressure cooker environment.
And also, metaphorically speaking, it's not just about the state of Venice, it's about the state of people's minds and the fact they are all in some way prisoners of their own beliefs and find that very hard to break out of, which is why the tension between the Christians and the Jewish community in the play, between Antonio and Shylock, is very strong.
Against a foe, forward into battle, we'll see his banners go.
To begin with, when we first meet Shylock, he absolutely meets people's expectations, or what we might imagine to be their expectations at the time. He's a avaricious moneylender. He seems to be just a sort of out-and-out villain.
News on the Rialto.
Oh, who's he comes in?
This is Signor Antonio.
How like a falling publican he looks. I hate him, for he is a Christian. But more, for that in low simplicity he lends out money gratis and brings down the rate of usance here with us in Venice. If I can catch him once upon the hip, I will feed fat the ancient grudge I bear him. He hates our sacred nation, and he rails, even here where merchants most do congregate, on me, my bargains, and my well-won thrift, which he calls interest. Cursed be my tribe if I forgive him. Shut up!
The prison acts as a microcosm for the world, with that sort of tension, which I think the prison environment really helps in that small little things trigger huge sways of emotion that almost you feel you can't rein in. You can't rein in. Once it explodes, it's as though that's it. You know, it's all hell breaks loose.
Have monies, you say so. You that did void your room upon my beard and foot me as you spurn a stranger cur over your threshold. Monies is your suit. What should I say to you? Should I not say, have a dog money? Is it possible a cur can lend 3,000 ducats? Or should I bend low and in a bondsman's key with bated breath and whispering humbleness say this, fair sir, you spat on me on Wednesday last, you spurned me such a day, another time you called me dog, and for these courtesies I'll lend you thus much money.
I would like to call thee so again, to spit on thee again, to spurn thee too.
She's a male in the prison who has feminized herself, who is under the protection of Shylock. It's almost a sort of slave relationship, if you will. He kind of owns her, but with that comes a great deal of protection. She is part of the Jewish tribe.
Farewell, and if my fortune be not crossed, I have a father, you a daughter lost.
You did utter in the street.
Jessica's departure, it's not only her departure to the other side, you have to remember that she takes all of his prized possessions. It's a huge act of betrayal, and one that leaves him completely ripped open. She acts as a catalyst for Shylock's rage and almost blind pursuit for justice.
My daughter, justice!
The love story in Merchant of Venice, and everyone is familiar with the love story of Bassanio and Portia, which is a very strong element of the story. But in our version, I very strongly feel that the love story is between two men. It's between Bassanio and Antonio.
A kind of gentleman foots the earth.
I think he only loves the world for you.
How now, Shylock?
What news among the merchants?
You knew. None so well as you of my daughter's flight. My own flesh and blood to rebel.
Oh, out upon it, old carrion!
What, rebelled into these years?
I say my daughter, my flesh and my blood.
There is more difference between thy flesh and hers than between jet and ivory. More between your bloods than there is between red wine and Rhenish.
What fellas do you hear whether Antonio has had any loss or no?
There, I have another bad match. Let him look to his bond. He was wont to call me usurer. Let him look to his bond. He was wont to lend money for a Christian courtesy. Let him look to his bond.
Why, I am sure, if he forfeits,
that Shakespeare creates a character initially that meets the expectations of the audience, and then later he gives Shylock an opportunity to confound those expectations and to speak about what it is like from his perspective. And so Shylock is arguing at the same time with the characters on stage, and we imagine perhaps with the expectations of
my
the
bargains,
audience.
called my friends, eating mine enemies. And what's his reason? I am a Jew. I've not a Jew eyes. I've not a Jew hand, organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions, fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer as a Christian is. If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? If we are like you in the rest, we will resemble you in that. If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? Revenge. If a Christian wrong a Jew, what should his sufferings be? By Christian example. Why, revenge? The villainy you teach me I will execute, and it shall go hard, but I will better the instruction. No! Here comes another to try! The third cannot be matched unless the devil himself turn Jew.
Our job as actors is just to empathise with your character and fight for the things that they fight for.
No revenge!
And when you do that, to me, it doesn't seem difficult at all to justify what Shylock does.
Yes, other men have ill luck too. Antonio.
That every opportunity had the rug taken out from underneath him and been backed up against the wall, and he's been pushed and pushed and pushed.
as soon as the letter comes for Bassanio that Antonio is in danger, and he's with Portia, which is this amazing thing, which suddenly, as soon as that letter arrives, it's almost as if she's not in the room. And I find that really exciting. I'm like, why is that? And then you start realising what the stakes and what these people mean to each other.
Here is a letter, lady! The paper is the body of my friend, and every word in it a gaping wound. Why dost thou wet thy night?
To my mind, I don't think it's difficult at all to understand why he would go from that to say, okay, you have set me this Christian example, you want me to be like you abuse me for being a Jew, okay, I am going to be like you, and I will take revenge just as you would take revenge.
Can no prayers pierce thee?
No, none that thou hast wit enough to make.
Oh, be thou damned, inexorable dog!
The principal themes of the play:
love is a huge one.
Racism and religious difference.
It's a terrific play for discussion. Sometimes people will touch on it very quickly about what really is the heart of what we're doing.
Repent but you that you shall lose your friend, and he repents not that he pays your debt. For if the Jew do cut but deep enough, I'll pay it instantly with all my heart.
£1 of that same merchant's flesh is thine. The court awards it, and the law doth give it.
Most rightful judge!
And you must cut this flesh from off his breast. The law allows it, and the court awards it.
Most learned judge, a sentence!
Come, prepare. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come.
Revenge, money,
justice,
and mercy.
They skirt around the real issues within the play, but usually within a Q&A, that discussion will come up.
Deliver us from evil, for thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever!
There is something else! This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood.
It's intimidating. It is intimidating, absolutely. Yeah.